Hello, hello. Welcome back, everyone. Sorry for a little bit of a downtime there. Had to get my next deck ready and just kind of go through everything. So, this deck is a deck that Ashes of an Empire in chat sent me just recently, and oh, look at that. The trade is back. So, this is basically just a sort of mono white control-based deck with a lot of enchantments in it. Like a very, very large number of enchantments in it. And it kind of plays things like, wait, why were there only 52 cards there? Oh, because there's a lot of plain stuff. Um, it plays a lot of random enchantments, random one-of enchantments that are very strong. And I'll show you here in just a bit when we get back onto that screen. Come on, come on. So, um, So, like, as you can see here, we've got a just large number of things. Um, 23 basic lands. There's possibly some room for, like, other different things, but quite frankly, right now we're just going to stick with the basics. But it's got a lot of random, like, one-of enchantments. So we have one Blind Obedience in the main, one Greater Auramancy to kind of protect all of our enchantments, one Journey to Nowhere to sort of act as, like, removal. We have one Rest in Peace, and then three Ruined Halo to deal with like the sort of linear creature-based decks, or like against Storm, you just name Grape Shot, and they can't beat this. In the game one, Porphyry Nodes is kind of against the aggro decks. It comes down and fights against a lot of things. I actually really love this card. I played an enchantment stacks based deck in Canadian Highlander, and that card just goes in there because it's just so good. Here we go. We can kind of get the whole deck on screen. Okay, so then we've got a bunch of other random things. Eidolon of Rhetoric is also very good against Storm, and you can search it up. There's Ghostly Prison, which is just good against aggro decks. We have 4 Oblivion Rings, just like your all-around removal spells. They can hit anything. Phyrexian Unlife is basically a way to gain, it essentially just says gain 10 life against aggressive decks. However, if you have a Solemnity in play, your opponent can't ever deal damage to you, and without removing one of these things, you just win the game. Because they can't ever kill you, because you can never gain any infect counters, and all damage stealth you through infect once you go to 0 or less. And then Story Circle is sort of like one of those enchantments that kind of gets us there quicker. And then we have, let's see, we have Cast Out, sort of a flash version of Oblivion Ring. Endless Horizons is a way to basically make it so that we draw an additional card every turn, and one of them is always a plains, and the other one is always something else, usually an enchantment, because that's like the entire deck. And we have 2 Endless Horizons. We have a Heliod, God of the Sun. It's an enchantment that we can search up, as well as just being a very good beater. It makes tokens. It gives all of your creatures vigilance. He just attacks. He's indestructible. He's very good overall. Day of Judgement and Wrath of God are just 2 wrath effects. You always break them up by your name. You never really want 2 of the same, although we just did that Jeskai League we just did had 2 Supreme Verdicts in it, instead of anything else. But you always want to break them up just to fight against decks like Humans. Humans plays Meddling Mage, and a lot of the time they will name one or the other, and they usually can't name both. So that's why you kind of break these things up. That's why a lot of the blue-white decks, they will play Terminus. You know, they play like 4 Terminus in their decks, but they also have like 1 Supreme Verdict or sometimes Settle the Wreckage. Some people have even started playing things like Hallowed Burial, and then like we are playing Day of Judgment and Wrath of God, 2 just iconic mono-white wrath effects. And then we have 2 Leyline of Sanctity to kind of tie up the 4-drop slot here. It's just super good against burn, super good against the hand attack decks, all that kind of stuff. And then we also have Sphere of Safety, just like an extra Ghostly Prison type effect. And then we have 3 Sigil of the Empty Thrones. This card is basically just one of our win cons. So in the main deck, at least, our win cons are we can't die. We lock out one of their things, or we have an Unlife and a Solemnity, and they just don't have an answer to it, so they just can't win. And eventually we will win. We can attack them with an Eidolon. We can attack them through Heliod making tokens. we can wrath them into oblivion, or with Sigil, every time we cast an enchantment, we make an angel, and that'll do it too. Now, to tie this entire deck together, as you might imagine, I have kind of skipped a card here. We have 4 Idyllic Tutors. This card is insane. I love this card a lot. The artwork is absolutely beautiful. 2 and a white sorcery. Search your library for any enchantment and put it into your hand, and then shuffle your library. And the reason that this deck can kind of function is because of this card. It just searches out any of our silver bullet enchantments in the matchup that we need it to be in, and then especially in game 2 and 3 where it becomes actually just nuts. And this card is really sweet, and I really like that. It kind of helps tie this deck together. The other thing, so moving on to sideboard, we have 2 Stony Silences. These cards are they shouldn't really need an introduction. This card is insane. It's very good against a lot of different artifact-based decks, very specifically something like KCI or Hardened Scales Affinity or just Affinity in general. It's just very good against them. It's also good against Tron, all that kind of stuff. We have another Rest in Peace in the sideboard, just in case we need to fight through another graveyard-style deck. We have a Luminarch Ascension as an additional win con we can bring in. We have 2 more Greater Auramancies to help protect our things. The one thing that's nice about this is Greater Auramancy gives all of our enchanted permanents Shroud, as well as all of our other enchantments Shroud. Now, I don't think we actually play any enchanted creatures, but or we don't have any enchantments that we can enchant onto creatures. But if you have, they're not legendary, so if you have 2 Greater Auramancies in play, all of your enchantments are hexproof, are shrouded, and they can't do anything about it. We play another Blind Obedience to help fight against aggro decks. Wait, no, yeah, there's one of those in the main. We have a Baffling End, also just kind of a catch-all removal spell that gets quite a lot in Modern, and just mono white kind of needs stuff like this, and it kind of helps us play more enchantment-based stuff to help trigger like sigils, and that we can search up with Idyllic Tutors instead of having to worry about playing like Path to Exile and stuff. We play 3 History of Benalia on the sideboard, just another great way to end the game. Another Eidolon of Rhetoric if needed, a Nevermore to just sort of stop our opponent from casting the spell that kills us. A lot of the time, like against, say, Scapeshift, we can just name either Scapeshift or Primeval Titan, and this just ends the game. It's hard for them to fight through it, especially if we have any ley lines. That's the other thing. We have 2 other ley lines in our sideboard, as well as another win con, probably one of my favorites, Starfield of Nyx, which makes all of our enchantments into creatures with power and toughness equal to their converted mana cost, and just turns our entire board into an attacking, field, and we could just like swing in and hurt them. So we're gonna go ahead and run this through a league. This deck looks like a lot of fun, and I'm very excited to do it. So why don't we go ahead and do that? This is actually a deck that I might consider moving forward on something like 0 to Deece, where we just sort of like update our decks as we go along and play them week to week and see how good we can do with it. But of course, if we go 3-2 or better today, then what's the point, right? Okay, so this hand is a little slow. We aren't doing a whole lot, except we are going to start locking our opponent out. Having 4 lands is definitely good with all of our really expensive spells, so hopefully we are playing against a deck that we don't really have to worry about a whole lot of what they're doing early on. If we're playing against something sweet like Bogles, this is going to be really fun. Sure. Is this like Mardu Pyromancer? No, this could be Grixis Death Shadow. It's Grixis Death Shadow. Man, this Rune Halo would have been so good against them too. But this Ghostly Prison is also going to be very good. It's going to be hard for them to fight through. Paying 2 is not something that deck is super happy with. So, yep, Rune Halo was a good pick. Can we draw another one? Oh, that sucks. Yep, Serum Visions. So this looks to be this could just be traditional Grixis control, although like lava axing themselves on turn one usually means that they're Death Shadow. Um, and yep, it's Death Shadow. So they're on the Ben Friedman list. Did they look at my card? Did they look at whatever? Um, yeah, so definitely Death Shadow, and they're only on one land. So this Ghostly Prison is definitely going to put it to them, especially because actually this is kind of a funny matchup. Oh man, that's probably better, right? Yeah, that's probably not something that they can fight through very easily. And the next turn we play the Ghostly Prison, it doesn't matter if they have a creature or not. Oh my God, Ashes, are you back yet? I want to tell you how awesome this deck is. I'm already very excited for this. Ooh, they're on Opt. Okay, interesting. Usually it's a Thought Scour Serum Vision style plan, so my opponent is likely not going to be happy when I cast this Ghostly Prison. Yeah, we just have like no possible plays through a lot of this. We can probably just like F6 through our opponent's turn frequently. Before people ask, by the way, I actually um okay, I don't know if that's going to do anything now. I think we just want to get this sigil down, get our get our thing going. What was I saying? Oh, for those of you who don't, who are maybe wondering, I don't hit the F6 button, um, because I'm playing on a laptop and I just kind of like play one-handedly. I don't really play with both my hands like ready to go. I've usually got my phone up in the other one, reading chat and stuff like that. Um, so I'm always like right-clicking to yield through turns and stuff. So just so before anyone asks, because I'm sure that somebody is concerned and thinking about it. Both of my cards are worthless against you. I don't know what you're doing. I'm just gonna play this 4/4. Yeah, didn't I yield through this turn? What are you doing? You have a 5/5. So, and if they have no way to hurt themselves next turn, I'm absolutely double blocking this Death Shadow. Oh, I still have a thing on the draw step from last league. Sure, that's gonna make your Death Shadow really big, which means I'm just gonna block with Eidolon. Pay 2, please. Oh, did you forget about that? It's weird. All right, paying 2, sure. Well, actually, I don't even need to, right? Yeah, let's just take 8 or 5 or whatever it is. We'll take 8 probably because they'll do this. Yeah, they don't want to because they'll die to my angels. That will put this game away. But oh, that's what I was saying. This is kind of funny too because this matchup is likely very, very good for us. Um, just because Grixis doesn't really have answers to enchantments. That isn't not necessarily something that their colors are known for. So this might be very, very funny. All right, if they have like a Temur Battle Rage, no, because they need another land to have Temur Battle Rage. Oh my gosh. Thought Scour me, sure. What do you want to see? My cast out and my planes? They're just getting knowledge out of me before they're done. They have 12/12 though, but they need another land that doesn't hurt them in order to attack and Temur Battle Rage me. Yep. Okay. Sure. I'm blocking. Yep. They likely just like were trying to bolt me or something. I don't know. So bringing in another Leyline is probably pretty good. It's like really, really strong against them. Eidolon of Rhetoric is pretty bad. This stuff is likely very good. Um, Blind Obedience isn't super. Oh no, Porphyry Nodes sucks. Blind Obedience isn't super great. Sphere of Safety might be really expensive, but like the rest of this stuff is probably fine. I definitely want. I definitely want another Rest in Peace, and I definitely want a Baffling End. Yeah, that seems fine. I mean, Nevermore naming Fatal Push to just like stop their only like removal spell, because they have bolts, but like bolts aren't gonna really do anything against us. Yeah, let's just run it like that. Um, well, I don't do anything if I don't get my third land, but I'm sure that I'll get my third land just because we run so many of them. Who are you targeting? Yourself? Sure. Deciding whether or not they want to fetch or shock, which means they likely... Oh, they wanted to keep it, so they had a Street Wraith. So now they can fetch down to 15. Thoughtseize me? Nope. Sweet, we drew a land. That's what we wanted. Alright, we're about to get hit by a Gurmag Angler there. Story Circle is probably pretty good against them, huh? They're like not going to be able to fight through all these things. Nothing? Huh. They didn't have a Gurmag Angler last turn? So I'm just going to Ruined Halo now. Name Gurmag Angler. Can no longer deal damage to me. Ashes, this deck is really sweet. If you're watching this now or watching it later in the future on YouTube or something, this deck is really cool. Play Death Shadow. Do it. You won't. Stubborn Denial? Yep. No, I'm not going to pay one. You got it. I knew that was going to happen. So, we got rid of the Stubborn Denial out of their hand. It's likely that they don't have another, although they definitely could. But they have another one. Whew. Get it out of here. And then this story, that means they don't have another one, and that this story circle is like absolutely about to put it to them. I wonder how okay with that they are. Probably not very okay. Probably pretty upset about it, to be honest. I would be too. Because then they have to kill us with like a Snapcaster Mage, and they're not going to do it when we get this Sigil down. Thoughtseize? You should Thoughtseize me. And you should take this card. That's a... Sure. If you have a way to get rid of my Ruined Halo, I'd be surprised. Engineered on 2? Sure. God, this is so pretty, too. Wow. Black. You go ahead and blow up that engineered explosives. It's all you, dude. Oh, yeah, that was weird. That is super weird and functions really weirdly on Mikko. That's hilarious. Sure, you have a Death Shadow. This is like super weird. Clicking through all these is just like a nightmare. Boom. God, engineered explosives isn't even that good against us. That's really funny. Engineer on 3. All right. That is absolutely hysterical. So they're going to pop this as soon as they possibly can. And then we are going to put both of these down. And then we're going to play a story circle again next turn. So in response, this... Name this. This. Name this. You have another Death Shadow, which doesn't have haste, so it's fine. Inquisition. Ah, oh, dang it! Bolt my angel, really? Okay. My gosh, this is getting pretty good. It's getting really close. Obviously we're guaranteed to draw an enchantment next turn, so we're going to take a hit from this thing. This Solemnity also means that they're only out to any of these things. Can't happen. So that's kind of amusing. An Idyllic Tutor would be the best draw, I think. We likely don't need... Oh my god, rest in peace. Okay, sure. That'll do it, though, because any enchantment makes another angel, which means we can double block this Gurmag Angler. And we're just going to put it to them. Snapcaster Mage, sure. Target Stubborn Denial, sure. Sure. It physically did not matter. Like, if they have Temur Battle Rage, they have Temur Battle Rage, basically. Visions, they searching for it. How are they doing this? One top, one bottom. Okay. It's likely not great for us then. That's a good one. That's one that they can't Stubborn Denial, and it makes an angel. And all my creatures have Vigilance too. Oh, jeez. Yeah, I think this game is like firmly in our grasp. I don't really know why our opponent's still playing, but hey, teach their own, I guess. One of each. Colligan's Command? But you can't target me with Colligan's Command. Bringing back another Gurmag Angler does nothing. Dealing 2 damage to that angel does nothing. I don't understand what your end goal here is. GG's opponent. That was sweet. Holy crap. Oh man. That's kind of what these prison decks do though, right? They choose an opponent or they choose a select number of decks and they're just like, well, we're going to be really good against these because we have these weird silver bullet cards and white happens to be the best about that, right? White has a bunch of mono white enchantments that are extremely good in this in modern, and being able to tutor them out and use them as silver bullets makes them very strong. Here we got a pretty good hand against an aggro deck. If we draw just one or two more lands, we'll be very in business. But obviously we have no idea what our opponent's doing. Misty Rainforest, sure. That could mean any number of things, I guess. But we're not going to do anything now because there's nothing we can do. Crack it, sure. God, the other thing is that you just don't play a lot on your opponent's turn, which I really enjoy. Like, it makes complicated gameplay, but it doesn't make like insanely complicated gameplay. Botanical Sanctum plus Hollowed Fountain. Interesting. Okay, well this sucks. We missed a land drop. That's not good for us. I figured we wouldn't miss a land drop, but I guess we do. Rattle Chains. Oh, it's Banned Spirits. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, well, Day of Judgment's about to be very good. I forget that they played Botanical Sanctum. It's really weird, but... Yep, I got 18. Okay, well, we have to journey this idiot. And if they Rattle Chains it, I can still journey the other Rattle Chains. Oh, wait, no, they just Rattle Chains in response to the ability, sure. This was likely to be very good had I had a captain, sure. Oh, this gives everything flash, doesn't it? That's not good. That's not good for me, chat. That's really bad. Alright, well, we're going to take quite a bit of damage here. But if we draw another land, we should be able to put them in the ground. There we are. Idyllic Tutor. It is going very well, Ashes. I don't know if you knew this or not, but Death Shadow is a very good matchup for this deck, and we put them in the ground. They did not have a good time. I was just like, Story Circle, name Black. I'm sorry, you can't do anything now, and it put them in the ground pretty easily. We get Phyrexian Unlife here, so as long as we don't die next turn, we're gonna play it. They can't kill us in one turn, or in the 2 turns. Then we play Solemnity, and then the game is over. Drog Skull Captain. No, that's not good for us. 3, 6, 10. This is 13. No, that's not. That's 10. God, math is hard. So they're gonna put us to 10 or to 3, which means that since they aren't killing us right now, this Phyrexian Unlife will kill them next turn unless they have a Spell Queller. But we don't really have any other options, so we have to play this. Yeah, Story Circle's insane, and I don't understand why it's not played enough. All right, so we kind of got stuck on lands, and that really sucks. So we're gonna move on to the next game and hopefully do better while we're on the play. These Leyline of Sanctities likely don't do anything, so we're gonna take them out. Boop, boop. Let's see. Luminarch Ascension is probably pretty good. Just like putting... No, because we get attacked a bunch, right? We don't want Luminarch Ascension. We want the other Blind Obedience, though. We want the Baffling End. I guess that's where we are now. We have to have an Eidolon of Rhetoric in our deck, which I don't really like, but it's probably fine. I guess we can bring in a History of Benalia instead. That's maybe okay. Just like put it to them as quickly as possible. Rest in Peace doesn't really do anything against them either, right? We have another History of Benalia? Sure, whatever. Yeah, this deck is sweet. Yeah, Luminarch is good against control. Yeah, that's exactly true. Yeah, this deck is a ton of fun. I wonder if there's maybe a little bit better of a mana base that you want. I don't know how much you'd probably want to go into it, but you could do a couple of the white cycling lands, um, like the white blue one or the white green one from Amonkhet. I don't think you need anything like super crazy as like a high number of them or whatever. And then I don't think you should be splashing blue with those cards either. But I think that those cards make it really good with Endless Horizons, where if you want to just draw an additional card, you can. You just go get one of those and then you cycle it immediately. Because you get to choose the land you get from Luminarch, or not Luminarch Ascension, Endless Horizons. So this hand is very slow and does nothing. This hand is very decent. Story Circle is just so nuts. This card is gorgeous. Holy crap. I just love the artwork on this card. Yeah, it does. It sideboards a lot. Well, it's because it takes out all the silver bullets that suck and puts in all the cards that are like decent in the matchup. It's very mid-range style like that. I mean, Prison does it a lot, right? Like Lantern takes out all their silver bullets that don't do anything in the matchup, and then they put in a bunch of cards that are like decent in it. This Wrath of God is definitely something I want to be drawing. So yeah, I actually really like this deck. I was really skeptical at first when you were like, play my mono white deck, and then I'm like, oh god, mono white. But no, I think this deck is really sweet. Um, I also think there's a consideration for playing uh oh gosh. There might be a consideration for playing Field of Ruins. Just to sort of go after your opponent's mana base and have something to do with some utility lands. Although the one thing that sucks about that is you can't get them with Endless Horizons, which maybe is something. Yeah, the deck is absolutely hate cards deck. It's so stupid. Thalia. Ooh, Thalia's pretty sweet. I like that. It's really good against us and really unfortunate for me because I wanted to cast something this turn. Yeah, I actually think this is a deck that I would consider running in 0 to Dece. Like, I just really want to play the crap out of this deck because it's really cool. I just really like the style and the way that it sets up and the things that it's doing. They're very cool. It's not every day that you get to say that you cast Story Circle. So, funny story about Story Circle. It doesn't target. I mean, neither does Wrath of God, but that's fine. I don't know. And now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know if Field is all that great just because um Field you can't grab with Endless Horizons, and that might be a consideration to turn away from this deck. Oop. Yeah, it does. Its Story Circle's insane. It like actually kills a lot of the decks. It's very, very difficult for it's very, very difficult for what's the name of that? Humans. I don't think it does anything against humans, but gosh, we're just gonna get spell quellered. I mean, we have to go for it. Oh wait, we're not dead. We're not dead right away, right? Because they still have to knock us to... Yeah, we're not dead yet. So, History of Benalia. Get a blocker out there. And they're going to likely Spell Queller this, which means that Solemnity will probably end everything. Oh, Solemnity, History of Benalia is a non-bow. Dang it. God, this deck is cool. Yeah, sure. It's likely that they actually wanted to block there, or to counter that there. That's very confusing. They have Force Spike only on instants and sorceries, right? Yeah, it's only instants and sorceries. It does nothing against my enchantments. They likely have a Spell Queller, right? But, let's see. If they end of turn a Lord... Okay, so if they Spell Queller my thing, on my next turn they're attacking for 2, 3, 4. And if they play a Lord, it's 5, 6, 7 Infect. And I'm blocking the Thalia, so it doesn't matter. I think I just play the Ghostly Prison and try and get them to Spell Queller it. Yeah, I think it's Prison here. Because they don't think we die on the Crackback. Okay. So then, that means that they likely aren't able to... Oh, do they have a... Nope. They're drawing cards with Horizon Canopies. That's very good for us. So if they're going to attack this turn, they need to pay a bunch of mana, which means they won't have Spell Queller up. And if they don't have Spell Queller up, that means that Solemnity will come down and ruin their day. We draw a land next turn, too. Oh, they just really want to keep Spell Queller up, huh? Yeah. I'm just going to take it. I take 2 Infect. Sure. We'd love to draw a land. Okay. What is this? Ooh, what's this? Is it... Oh, okay. Draw Skull Captain. Sure, I'm going to take 3 Infect this turn. You did it, chat. Good job. Unless you play a land, in which case I'm taking 6. No attacks. They have a spell queller. It's likely that this matchup isn't super easy for us, but they still have to pay quite a bit. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 doesn't do it. And that it's attacking with 3 creatures. If they have a Drog Skull Captain, they can maybe fight through it, but gosh, really just wanted a couple lands earlier. I don't know if leading on Blind Obedience there is correct, because they might not have spell quellered it, to be perfectly honest. Okay, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I go to 1 infect. Or 1, I go to 9 infect. And you're tapped out? Okay, this is likely about to put them into the ground. Ooh woo, what's this? Oops! Oh, that was great. Well, we did it. We got there. Oh my gosh. Yeah. That was great. That was a lot of fun. Whoo. Oh man, this deck is a hoot. What a deck. Oh my god, I shouldn't keep this. This is really bad. If I don't draw a 3rd land, I just like brick and die. I'm gonna draw, right? Okay, it's probably fine. Sure. Mausoleum Wanderer? Nope. Noble Hierarch. That seems really strong. Could you not, please? I wonder if Ruined Halo is very good against... Oh, God. I'm just going to brick and die. I wonder if Ruined Halo is very good against the decks that go, like, super wide like this. Oh, they have a Spell Queller. I don't want to give them a reason to cast it. This is absolutely your best brew. This thing is sweet. Come on, I really need a land next turn, please. Without a land, I think we're dead. That's not good. Ruined Halo? Play your Spell Queller. Kill me, please. Oh. Oh, look at that. Rattle chains. No damage. God, if Parallax Wave was legal? I'm glad that it's not, to be perfectly fair. Super glad it's not. Although, this deck would be, like, sweet. All sorts of awesome. Sure. I'm gonna take some damage. Really rather you'd stop doing that, but okay. We're just gonna cast that one, right? And then they're gonna cast like a Rattle Chains or something. Collected Company, hopefully to maybe get Spell Queller. Please, no. No, that sucks. God, that was really quick. They clicked on that far too quickly. All right, well, there's no legal targets. Oh, wait, no. I can still target the Noble Hierarch. Haha, got him. Gosh, this sucks. The deck's on 23 lands. It's probably fine. The Rattle Chains doesn't do any damage. What are you attacking with it for? You realize that wasn't lethal, right? Okay, well, that's not going to do it, right? Because I need, like, a way to kill all of their creatures. GG's opponent. Oops. GG's opponent. You got me. Oh, man, that was cool. Let's move on. Let's do it again. I really want there to be, like, a wrath effect on an enchantment, right? In Modern. That would be sweet. I don't know if there is or not. I'm trying to think of all the different enchantments. This deck is sweet. I'm gonna tool around with this a bunch. Just so you know, Ashes, I'm absolutely stealing this. This is really cool. I like this deck a lot. Um, and I wonder if like there's a couple of random silver bullet enchantments that we just are kind of missing or overlooking. But like I absolutely want to work with you on this one. This one's sweet. Oh, obviously. I don't know if you knew this. Here, I think I can see it. View deck. Deck title. Is it in here? It's sure not. All right, whatever. Deck title is Enchantress dash Ashes of the Empire or an Empire. It's just like in the title. Ooh, I wonder if this Leyline's pretty good against them. I have no idea. Oh, God. Boop. They probably think we're boggles. Oh, they're Tron. Fuck me. Okay, well, I don't know if we're able to do anything against Tron. What's our answer to Tron? Stony Silences, and then it's like attacking them, but like they are just such a good control deck. Luminarch. Luminarch seems pretty good against them, actually. This Day of Judgment's going to do nothing against them, though. And if we have a Greater Auramancy, I guess, they aren't doing anything either. They're just going to have natural turn 3 Karn. Because, you know, that's what Tron does. I think I'm just going to concede to a Karn here. That's a Worm Coil engine. That's not anywhere near as bad. Okay. Okay, that one we can deal with. Oh, it's gone. Oh, it's out of here. Get that garbage out of my face. Oblivion Stone, huh? That's not very nice. I just don't know if we have anything in here. Why is there not? There should be a Stony Silence in the main, I think. I think Stony Silence in the main board is probably really good against something like KCI. And maybe that's a good consideration. Sure. Okay. You got me. Yeah, I kind of like the idea of Stony Silence. That was actually something I looked at because I was like looking at the list before we started up, and like the Rest in Peace in here is very good, and I agree with that. Oh wait, no, Blind Obedience says artifacts come in tap too, right? Yeah, maybe that's fine. Couple Greater Auramancies, Luminarch Ascension, Stony Silences, Nevermore because we're on the play. These ley lines do nothing, and these Sphere of Safeties and these Ghostly Prisons do nothing. Probably just want like aggro. Journey to Nowhere doesn't do anything. Ghostly Prison doesn't do anything. Oh god, our worst matchup's probably Tron. This is just like not good. Just triple History of Benalia here. Cut out all the stuff that just doesn't do anything. Oh yeah, Story Circle's like the worst one, right? Maybe the Greater Auramancy. Let's try that. I would like to play first. Jeez. I guess we'll keep this one. This cast out's likely not going to do much. It does exile any non-land permanent, but 4 mana is a lot. Maybe we'll just cycle it on turn 1. Yeah, you're right. Journey to Nowhere is probably fine in this matchup too. I don't know. This matchup sucks, I think. To be fair, though, almost every deck that I play is bad against Drawn. You ought to definitely go back and watch that first matchup, though. Holy crap. Our opponent didn't stand a chance. Alright, well, Forest on turn 2 is good for us. Yep, that's fine. And I'm absolutely only casting this till I can put a clock into play. And maybe this slows them down, right? Like they just did that, and now they can't do anything this turn. That is likely to do something. Yes. Drain my opponent for 1. Put a knight into play. Go attacking. Karn? There it is. Downtick on... Uptick on my hand, really? Well, this Rune Halo's not going to do anything. But... this Oblivion Stone is. Get that Karn out of there. It's mine now. Another Karn, sure. Uptick on me? This Sigil's probably not doing much. Sure. That's what I kind of thought they were going to do. Oh, I only have one card in hand. Dang it. I should have known that was going to happen, honestly. Well, looks like you're not casting any more spells this turn. I have enough to kill Karn. Because if I don't attack Karn... Well, I guess, I don't know, he downticks on one of my things? I just really didn't want to lose to, like, a bunch of Karn activations. I should have just attacked them, you're right. There was no point in doing it. If this is an Ugin, we lose. Walking Ballista for a bunch. Sure. Sure. There goes my History of Benalia. It's probably a pretty good one for him to start with on the next game if he ever decides to restart. And I actually don't think we need to function on many more lands, so just getting rid of all the ones in our deck is not going to be a big deal if he downticks Karn on it. I kind of like the idea of Spirit Loop, yeah. That would be pretty funny. Ugin. Alright, moving on. And that's why we don't play against Tron. Ooh, Suppression Field is kind of good, actually. I like that a lot. I did not think about that. I was trying to think if there was like a Pithing Needle type effect um, for in enchantments, and I did not think about Suppression Field. That seems very hot. I agree. I like it. Burn? Nope. If it was burn, we'd be dead already. Hmm. What is my opponent doing? Well, I wonder if Rest in Peace is good against him. Boros Charm, sure. So it is burn. They just had a really bad hand with no 1-drops. Okay, so then Story Circle is about to win the game for us. Oh, yeah, I can imagine it has a very good burn matchup. Sure. Can you kill me this turn. You better kill me right now, opponent. That's probably a concession, honestly. Wow, 3 Boros Charms. Ooh, all right. Bringing in this other Leyline. Taking out this. Taking out this Rest in Peace. Bringing in Greater Auramancies, maybe, just because they probably have some way to try and fight my things. Wow. This is likely to be pretty good. You know what's funny? I'm keeping this. Holy crap. This is so cool. What is this hand? Sure, attack me. Whatever. What do I get? Oh, Leyline of Sanctity. You're lucky, opponent. You're lucky. Oh, Benalia over Porphyry Nodes makes sense. That might be a good idea, actually. Holy crap, okay. Double Leyline of Sanctity, huh? Okay. I need to survive 2 turns, and they're hitting me for at least 5 every turn. Oh, this might not be good. Oh my gosh. I'm at 9, taking 6 down to 3. Bold me. Rift Bolt. Well, that isn't enough. Move on to game 3, I guess. Wow, that was insanely quick. I don't know if I like Ruined Halo against them as much. Maybe bring in Baffling End just to deal with another creature. They likely don't have a whole lot of enchantment removal, to be honest. They have Destructive Revelries, and usually they only have 3. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this one. There it is. Yeah, they're probably not great. They probably aren't cutting their creatures against us though, right? Destructive Revelry, sure. Eidolon, sure. That seems pretty useless, I think. I guess it gets around, like, a lot of different other things, but... I think I'm absolutely happy to trade this off. Fourth land, that's usually good for us. Another Destructive Revelry, sure. Okay, so that should put this game in the ground. Skull crack me, sure. Sure. God, we are destroying all the lands. Alright, we won. Look at that. I guess that was good. So we're jumping into the last one here. This is going to be my last game or match of the day. So thank you guys for hanging out. Just going to go ahead and jump in and hopefully make it a quick one. I've got some stuff I want to do tonight. Like I said, thank you guys for hanging out. And if you haven't yet, please hit the follow button. Helps other people find my stuff. It's completely free for you. It doesn't cost you a single penny. But, however, at some point, there will be options for subscribing, which will, but we're not there yet. So we are going to try to. Otherwise, if you haven't yet already, you can also go and subscribe to me on YouTube. All of my streams are getting uploaded there now. They all have the title with the decks that are in it. And hopefully from now on, they should all be broken up by deck. So you can just watch what you want to do and not, any of the other random stuff. So, yeah. And this one will be up there probably later tonight. So if you want to watch the rest of it or whatever, keep it in mind. I don't know if this is good or not. I'll keep it, just in case it is. If it's not, I lose, right? Bauble, okay. That's likely good for us. This is Death Shadow again? I think this game ends if I resolve a single spell. This is Death Shadow. They are super dead. I don't think this is the same person we played against last time. They're about to turn 2 Gurmag Angler us, though. It's like super bad for us. I wonder if this deck needs a little bit more turn 1 play. Like, I don't think, like, Path to Exile or anything, but I think, like, it just needs something. I'm not really sure what yet, but it needs something. I don't know. I'll have to look at some stuff and see what I like. Gurmag? No. There are no good turn 1 enchantments, you think so? I mean, Porphyry Nodes is pretty good, but it's like we are playing that already, so. Speak of the devil. Well, it destroys the creature with the least power, right? So it'll be the Gurmag Angler. Porphyry Nodes is fine. I don't know. I just don't think it's like super great, but it's like fine. I like the card design a lot, but yeah. I wonder if there's something else. I'll have to look at some stuff. I probably got some time and I can do that tomorrow or something. This deck is likely on my list of the next sure. This deck is likely my next on the list for 0 to Dece. Whenever we decide to do very well with dragons. And yes, decide to do well, because there's no way that the deck is bad or anything. I'm just like really, really bad at playing it. So you should play a 6/6 Death Shadow so that I can blow up your Gurmag Angler. Okay, I take 10. Ow. Yep. So I played a turn slower removal spell. That's usually pretty good, right? Against all their hand attack spells. Leyline of Sanctity is probably pretty good. And then Endless Horizons next turn is going to be sweet. Yes, thank you, Fresh Profit. Profit. Was there a subscribe or a following I didn't see? I missed it, I guess. I should get the ticker up. I don't have that up on to like watch the latest follows or whatever. Wrath of God. Well, I'm just gonna cast this thing. Thanks for hanging out with us today, though, Fresh Profit. You're kind of catching us on the tail end of the stream. This is the last match of my day, but I will be back tomorrow night with some Grixis Dragons and some Blue-White Eldrazi, so should be a ton of fun. Right now we're playing probably what is the coolest deck in Modern. It's Mono Blue or Mono White Enchantment Prison. Deck is quite hot. I'm just gonna slowly click through these because for some reason you have to click through these and it takes so long to load in between each one. This is the only bad part about playing this card in on Magic Online. All right, let's do this. Our opponent looks like they're flooding out a little bit. They haven't cast another idiot, so. I wonder if their hand is just full of like hand attack spells. Yeah, I'm sure we just win from here.
I'm making some grilled cheese and
I go to 8, sure. That's a Death Shadow. Alright, well, if they have a way to stop me from casting this Wrath of God, then I think another Sigil. Sigil probably doesn't do anything. Stubborn Denial, sure. 4, 7, 8, 9. Am I dead? I am dead. I don't remember how exactly that I sideboarded last time. This Eidolon was really bad. Um, I don't think they have anything for Greater Auramancy. They have engineered explosives. That's their biggest thing, right? So I don't know. Maybe this is fine. I'll probably keep this just like this. Sorry, there was commentary that kind of died right there, and I probably should have just muted my mic, but talking about dinner plans, so. This deck is likely fairly cheap to build too, isn't it? Minus like the ley lines and the runed halos. Oh, the idyllic tutors are like 15 or something. That's likely very good. Name Gurmag Angler because they aren't down for Death Shadow yet. But if we can Idyllic Tutor for another one next turn, it's going to probably put this game away. There's a Death Shadow. Well, how's that feel? Do another one? So Ashes, what have you learned from watching this today? Other than this deck needs suppression field. Yeah, Tron is definitely a consideration. You are not wrong. What? Oh, okay. That was really weird. Now I just get Story Circle, right? Because we already have the Sigil. Do I just get Story Circle? Or do I get Solemnity? If I get Solemnity, they can't EE next turn. Well, they can EE next turn, but they can't do it following turns. And they... oh, man. If I get... Endless Horizons, then I can start riding that train. But I think Solemnity is better, right? Yeah, another Wrath, I definitely think so. You guess you get Solemnity to stop Engineered Explosives? That sounds about right. Please don't have EE this turn. I literally have to fade one draw step. Thought Scour, sure. My opponent has a million cards on my end of their graveyard. Doesn't look like they've drawn it yet. I think they would have slammed it by now. Just slam Solemnity at this point, I think. Is there a way to give enchantments indestructible? Is that something we could do? Just to stop stuff like that? I'll have to look. I'm sure there's something weird. But I'm going to look through. There's Enchantress is a style of deck that I've always enjoyed a lot of. And the only Enchantress deck in Modern is Bogles. And I don't count that because that deck is an atrocity to mankind. So... I go to 18, sure. Funny thing about... Whoa! Oh, that might do it. Funny thing about Heliod. Can't be Stubborn Denial. This is pretty close to an Enchantment Prison deck. Like, that's kind of what Enchantress usually does, right? Oh, Disdainful Stroke. Sweet. Sure. I did not expect Disdainful Stroke. They almost never play that in the sideboard. That's weird. It's pretty close to Enchantress, though, I think. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But, like, it doesn't play any of the Enchantress effects, but it definitely plays an Enchantment Prison style deck, and that's what Enchantress usually is. Okay, sure. I take 5. I did not expect Young Pyromancer. That's super crazy. Oh, I took 7. I'm sorry. I forgot about the... Or 6. I forgot. Oh. Um... They likely have a Stormer Denial, don't they? Can I name Elemental with this? I don't think you can, right? Whatever, I'm just gonna play Ghostly Prison. Stubborn? Oh, God. So I need like a Wrath effect, and I need them not to have a counterspell for it. And I need to draw it, like, right now. Or I need to draw not a Plains. GG's opponent. I needed to draw like anything other than a Plains right there. Well, this deck was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed playing it, and I think what I'm going to do is look at the list a little bit, and I'm going to try and look at some changes I might make to it. I really like this. I think, so as far as what I think, which, I mean, who cares what I think, really, but God, I hate Porphyry Nodes in this deck. I don't know if it's that good or not. Maybe cut Porphyry Nodes and add a Stony Silence to the main. I actually really like having a Stony Silence in this deck. You probably need another Wrath effect. Maybe Settle the Wreckage. You need a Suppression field or two. Maybe even two. That card's very good. And I wonder if you want... Because, like, I know that Oblivion Ring hits anything. But I wonder if you want one less Oblivion Ring and one more Journey to Nowhere just to deal with, like, the aggro-based decks. I don't know. I think this deck is very sweet, and I love it a lot. So I am absolutely going to work on this a bit more because I love it. It did run for what? Oblivion Rings? Or Journey to Nowheres? Did it play 4 Journey to Nowheres? Because that seems wrong. Nodes? Yeah, I don't think 4 nodes is good. I don't know. I'm going to have a look at a bunch of stuff, and I'll make suggestions to you, and then we'll put a deck together and run it. Because this is really sweet. I like this deck a lot. So, like I was saying before this match, thank you guys for hanging out. And if you haven't yet, please hit the follow button. It's completely free. It doesn't cost you a penny, and it helps other people find my stuff. It also helps get my name out there, which would be awesome because I'd love to start streaming a bit more often and make it a bit more worth my time other than just like having fun, which, don't get me wrong, it's a blast. So I love it. But anyway, the other thing is, if you don't know this yet, I put all of my streams up on YouTube, so you can always just, youtube.com/Night of Saint Trash to find all of my streams there, including this one will be going up later tonight, as well as my Thursday stream, which I have not put up yet, and I need to. But normally I stream Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday nights, or at least I try to. Tomorrow we'll be coming back with the 0 to Dece thing that we always do on Mondays, which is we play a deck week in, week out until we do positive with it, at least. And tomorrow on the docket is Blue White Eldrazi and Grixis Dragons. So stay tuned for that stuff. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and sign off for the night. So I will see you guys tomorrow.